Most guys think women fall in love because of butterflies and crazy chemistry. But the real reason a woman chooses one man over another is how safe, understood, and emotionally steady she feels with him. When she feels calm around you, when her body relaxes instead of tensing up, her brain literally starts tagging you as someone I can trust. And that is what pulls her closer over time. Think about this for a second. A lot of men are trying to be the most exciting guy in the room, but the guy she actually wants to come home to is the one whose energy says, you're safe here. You can be yourself, and I'm not going anywhere without talking to you first. There was this guy, let's call him Ryan. He was in college, and he really liked a girl in his class. At first, he did what most guys do. He tried hard. He brought her little gifts, texted her all the time, reacted to her stories, checked up on how her day was going, and tried to be available 24/7. In the beginning, she seemed into it. She smiled when she saw him. She replied fast, and she even teased him a little. Ryan felt like, okay, this is going somewhere. But the moment things started to feel serious, Ryan made one mistake almost every man makes. He turned the intensity all the way up and completely forgot about presence, safety, and emotional pacing. Now every conversation started to feel like pressure. He wanted answers. He wanted clarity. He wanted to know where this was going. If she took time to reply, he overthought. If she seemed a bit distant, he panicked. Very slowly, she began to pull away. Her replies got shorter. She took more time to answer texts. She said she was busy more often. Within a couple of months, she ended things completely. No drama, no big fight, just a quiet fade out. And a little later, Ryan saw on social media that she was spending time with another guy. They were hanging out, going places, clearly connecting. Ryan's mind went crazy. What did I do wrong? I liked her more. I cared more. I did so much for her. Why him and not me? What Ryan didn't understand back then is simple. She did not feel safe and relaxed with him. She felt pressure, intensity, and a kind of emotional imbalance. He was always one step ahead in his head, already in a serious relationship in his mind while she was still in the early stages, just getting to know him. Love does not work like a movie scene where you lock eyes and everything is decided in 5 seconds. Love is slow and layered. Attraction is the spark, but it is not the fire. Attraction is that first rush you feel when your heart jumps a little or you can't stop thinking about someone. That spark matters, but it is only the beginning. What actually turns that spark into something deep is a mix of safety, consistency, and emotional connection. Safety is when she knows you won't suddenly flip on her, judge her, or embarrass her. Consistency is when your words and actions match so well that her brain starts to relax and say, okay, this guy is reliable. Emotional connection is when she feels you actually get what she is feeling instead of trying to fix her or talk over her. Inside the brain, there is a part whose main job is to scan for danger and decide if a situation is safe or risky. When she is around you, that part is constantly reading your tone, your eye contact, your reactions, even your silence, and asking, can I really be myself with him? Will I be okay with him long term? If the answer feels like yes, her body relaxes and it becomes easier for her to open up, share, laugh, and eventually bond with you. There is also a chemical that gets involved when people feel connected and secure. It shows up more when there is warmth, gentle touch, trust, and emotional support, and helps the brain feel closer to the other person. The more safe and seen she feels, the more this bonding process can grow. If she feels judged, mocked, or constantly tested, her system shuts this process down because it thinks, this is not safe for my heart. So, what creates safety for her on a day-to-day level? It is not perfect lines, flashy dates, or trying to act like a movie star. Safety is calm actions plus predictable behavior. It is when you show her through your patterns that you are steady. If she is upset and you stay grounded instead of losing your cool, she feels that. If you disagree but still speak respectfully, she feels that. If she shares something vulnerable and you don't use it against her later, she remembers that. When your reactions are calm, even when she is frustrated or emotional, you send a strong message. You don't have to hide around me. I can handle your feelings. That message is rare. Most people get defensive, turn things into an argument, or make it about their own ego. When you don't do that, when you just stay present, hear her out, and respond instead of reacting, it builds trust at a deep level. Consistency is another huge piece most guys underestimate. If you say you will do something, and then you actually do it again and again, her brain starts to tag you as dependable. It's not about grand gestures. It's small, boring, repeatable actions that make the biggest difference. For example, if you say, I'll call you at 8, and you call at 8, not 8:45, not sorry I forgot, just 8. If you say, I'm free on Saturday, let's grab coffee, and you show up when you said you would, looking put together, not making last-minute excuses. Every time your words and actions match, her mind relaxes a little more. You are teaching her nervous system, you can lean on me. I am not just talking. I follow through. Over time, that becomes extremely attractive because real life is not a highlight reel. It is bills, stress, tired days, family drama, and personal struggles. Knowing a man can be steady through all that is way more compelling than the guy who just knows how to flirt in the right moment. Another trap men fall into is confusing performance with presence. Performance is when you are trying to impress. You are showing off, talking about yourself, trying to be funny every second, or trying to make her feel like she should choose you. Presence is totally different. Presence is just being there, fully, in that moment with her. It is listening, making eye contact, paying attention, and not being in your head about what to say next. Presence creates emotional closeness because she feels you actually care about what she thinks and feels, not just about making her like you. When you are present, you can ask real questions, sit through a pause without freaking out, and respond to what she actually said instead of giving some memorized response. Performance, on the other hand, creates distance. It feels like she is watching a show. She might think, he is entertaining, but I don't really feel him. It starts to feel fake or tiring, and after a while, she pulls back because there is no deep bond forming. Boundaries are another piece that many men misunderstand. A lot of guys think having boundaries makes them seem cold or uncaring, but the truth is, clear, calm boundaries actually make you feel more stable, and stability feels safe. When you respect your own time, your values, and your limits, you show her that you respect yourself and that she can trust your yes and your no. For example, if you tell her you can't talk every single night until 3 in the morning because you have work or training early, and you say it calmly and kindly, that is a boundary. You are not pushing her away. You are showing her that you have a life and structure. That structure is attractive because it signals that you are not lost or overly dependent on her attention. Boundaries are not about punishing or controlling. They are about being honest with yourself and with her. They say, this is what I can do, this is what I can't, and I will stick to it. That reliability is something her deeper instincts respect, even if in the moment she might test it. Another big factor is emotional bandwidth. Ask yourself honestly, can you hold intense emotions without exploding, shutting down, or making it all about you? If she is sharing something heavy, do you immediately jump in to defend, fix, or argue? Or can you stay with her, listen, breathe, and try to understand first? When a woman sees that you can handle emotion, hers and your own, without melting down, it tells her you are safe for long-term connection. If every disagreement becomes a drama, if every honest conversation leads to you lashing out, sulking, or disappearing, her nervous system will label you as risky. Once that happens, it is very hard for her to relax around you again. On the other hand, if she cries and you stay steady, if she is angry and you don't attack, if she is anxious and you don't mock or dismiss her, she feels deeply seen. You don't have to solve her life. You just have to be emotionally strong enough not to fall apart when things get intense. Now, let's talk about speed. One of the biggest mistakes is rushing. When you rush things, what she feels is pressure. The more pressure she feels, the more she will pull away to protect herself. When you push for labels, constant contact, or deep commitment too fast, you might think you are being serious and genuine, but her system often reads it as, he needs me to fill some empty space in his life. Overgiving is another problem. Doing every little thing for her, always sacrificing, always rescuing, always saying yes to everything she asks. Might feel romantic to you, but to her, over time, it starts to feel like neediness instead of strength. Healthy giving comes from a full life, not from a fear of losing someone. Ignoring her signals also slowly kills attraction. If she seems uncomfortable with a topic and you keep pushing it, she notices. If she seems tired and you insist on long calls, she notices. If she hints that she wants to slow down and you pretend you didn't hear it because you want more from her, she notices. When she feels unseen repeatedly, she shuts down. So what do you actually do if you want to build something real with a woman in a healthy way? First, slow down and let things evolve naturally. Attraction that is meant to grow will grow if you don't suffocate it. You don't need to force deep talks every day or try to lock her in immediately. Focus on making each interaction relaxed, honest, and slightly better than the last. Second, be reliably present. This means you show up when you say you will, you reply in a reasonable time, and when you are talking, you are actually there, not half scrolling your phone or half thinking about something else. A simple rhythm works well. Maybe you have a short call or a focused conversation where you mostly listen and ask curious questions instead of lecturing. Third, build your own life. Have goals, hobbies, friends, and a sense of direction that is bigger than any one person. When you have a full life, you bring better energy to her because you aren't trying to make her responsible for your happiness. It also makes you more attractive because you look like a man who can stand on his own 2 feet. Fourth, keep your promises, even the small ones. Tiny promises kept over time turn into big trust. If you tell her you'll text the next day, do it. If you say you will be on time, try your best to be on time. If something comes up, communicate instead of disappearing. Fifth, learn to validate feelings instead of jumping into problem-solving mode immediately. Sometimes what she needs is not a solution. It is to feel like you understand what something feels like for her. You can say things like, I hear you. That sounds really tough. Or, I get why that would bother you. That doesn't mean you are agreeing with everything. It means you respect her emotional reality. Sixth, respect her pace. Maybe she moves slower than you. Maybe she needs more time to trust. That is okay. Pushing her to speed up usually backfires. You can be clear once about your interest. Ask if she is open to seeing where things go, and then step back and give her space to respond over time. If you have asked and she is not really moving towards you, don't keep chasing. Respect yourself and her. Finally, remember this. Attraction gets you noticed, but safety, consistency, and emotional depth are what make her choose you again and again. The more her mind and body feel that she can relax around you, the more she will naturally want to be around you. When you become that steady, grounded presence in her life, you stop wondering, why did she choose that other guy? And you start to see that you have become the man she does not want to lose. I hope this helped you. I will meet you with another video soon.